Jaya Radha Mādhava Kunja Bihari. Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Mādhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Mādhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Mādhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Mādhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatiravanachari Jamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jai Gauda Nitai, Gauda Nitai, Gauda Nitai, Jaya Gauda Nitai. Jai Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nastapreshu Abhadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So when the book comes, we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 70, Text 1. We'll also do the, what happened to the book? Just now. Okay. $70. This chapter describes Lord Sri Krishna's daily activities and two proposals placed before him, one by a messenger from Dwaraka and another by the sage Narada. In the early hours of the morning, Lord Kṛṣṇa would rise from bed and bathe himself in clear water. After executing the dawn rituals and other religious duties, he would offer oblations into the sacred fire, chant the Gayatri Mantra, worship and pay tribute to the demigods, sages, and forefathers, and offer respects to learned brahmanas. Then he would touch auspicious substances, decorate himself with celestial ornaments, and gratify his subjects by giving them whatever they desired. The Lord's chariot driver, Daruka, would bring his chariot, and the Lord would mount it and drive to the royal assembly hall. When he would take his seat in the assembly, surrounded by the Yadavas, he would appear like the moon surrounded by a circle of stars called nakshatras. Bards would recite his praises to the accompaniment of drums, cymbals, venas, and other instruments. On one occasion, the doorkeepers escorted a messenger into the assembly hall. The messenger offered prostrated obeisances to the Lord, and then standing with joined palms, addressed him, "O Lord, Jarasandha has captured 20,000 kings and is holding them prisoner. Please do something, for these kings are all your surrendered devotees." Just at that moment, Narada Muni appeared. Lord Shri Krishna and all the members of the assembly stood up and offered obeisances to Narada by bowing their heads. The sage accepted a seat, and then Lord Kṛṣṇa gently questioned him. "Since you travel all over the universe, please inform us what the Pandava brothers are planning to do." Narada then praised the Supreme Lord and replied, "King Yudhishthira desires to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. For this he requests your sanction and presence. Many demigods and illustrious kings will come just to see you." Understanding that the Yadavas wanted him to defeat Jarasandha, Lord Kṛṣṇa asked his wise minister Uddhava to determine which of the two matters at hand, the defeat of Jarasandha or the Rajasuya sacrifice, should be attended to first. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 70, Verse 1. śrī-śuka uvāca, athoṣasy upavṛttāyāṁ, kukkuṭān kūjato śapan, gṛhīta-kaṇṭhyaḥ patibhir, mādhavyo virahāturāḥ. śrī-śuka uvāca, athoṣasy upavṛttāyāṁ, kukkuṭān kūjato śapan, gṛhīta-kaṇṭhyaḥ patibhir, mādhavyo virahāturāḥ. śrī-śuka uvāca, athoṣasy upavṛttāyāṁ, kukkuṭān kūjato śapan, gṛhīta-kaṇṭhyaḥ patibhir, mādhavyo virahāturāḥ. Matajis? āśapan. śrī-śuka uvāca, athoṣasy upavṛttāyāṁ, kukkuṭān kūjato śapan, gṛhīta-kaṇṭhyaḥ. Śrī-śuka uvāca. Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, atha, then, uṣasi, the dawn, upavṛttāyāṁ, as it was approaching, kukkuṭān, the roosters, kūjataḥ, who were crowing, aśapan, cursed, gṛhīta, being held, kaṇṭhyaḥ, whose necks, patibhir, by their husbands, Lord Kṛṣṇa in his multiple manifestations. Mādhavyaḥ, the wives of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Viraha, over separation. Āturāḥ, agitated. Translation, purport by the followers of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, as dawn approached, the wives of Lord Mādhava, each embraced around the neck by her husband, cursed the crowing roosters. The ladies were disturbed that now they would be separated from him. Please repeat. Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, as dawn approached, the wives of Lord Mādhava, each embraced around the neck by her husband, cursed the crowing roosters. The ladies were disturbed that now they would be separated from him. Purport. This description of Lord Kṛṣṇa's daily activities starts with the crowing of the rooster. Lord Kṛṣṇa's wives knew that the Lord would dutifully get up and perform his prescribed morning rituals. Thus they were agitated at their coming separation from him and cursed the roosters. Poor roosters. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So indescribably fortunate that we can sit and hear Śukadeva Gosvāmī narrating such intimate pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Even Parikshit Maharaj, it's already the 10th canto, he's on the verge of death, but he became so excited about hearing all these wonderful pastimes, he wanted to hear more and more. And in here, I mean, we went through many different pastimes, the Lord performing as if in a human existence. He comes to this material world to set the proper example, to show us how we can disentangle ourselves from this repetition of birth and death and false hopes for happiness by becoming wealthy or powerful, becoming a great king, having a beautiful wife and family, or multiple other varieties of enjoyment, the allurements of the illusory material energy. And everyone in the world is perplexed and misguided by the mind and uncontrolled senses. So here, Krishna married 16,100 princesses that were held captive by Jarasandha, right? Huh? Narakasura. Jarasandha, he got the 20,000 kings. Yes, this is later on. And although it appears that Krishna's associates also have to undergo suffering, like Vasudeva, Devaki, Queen Kunti, the Pandavas, so many of the transcendentalists who are involved with the Leela of Krishna, supporting and loving Krishna, but there's a deep meaning behind everything. Some of the explanations in the Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures seem very astounding and almost unbelievable to the human being. It kind of reminds me of the story of Narada Muni when he saw that Brahmana who was performing various sacrifices and rituals, and he asked Narada, "Where you're going? Going to Vaikuntha to visit my Lord? Please ask him when my liberation will take place." Or the cobbler, performing his simple duties, he asked the same question of Narada Muni, that asked the Lord, when will I be freed from my entanglement, my embodiment in this world? That's the beauty of Vedic culture. Even simple people, I'm sure, who are living in villages and are not sophisticated and educated, many times the gopis, when they're questioning Uddhava or even Balaram, when they came to pacify them, visiting them, they would sometimes ask, is Krishna surrounded by the sophisticated, educated women of Mathura or Dwarka, Puri? They're not as gullible as us to be tricked by Krishna's misleading words. So they're showing so much emotion and chastising Krishna in a gentle way. So Narada Muni in Vaikuntha, seeing the Lord in his wonderful activities, before leaving, he asked, when will this Brahmana be freed of his entanglement? And when will this cobbler also be freed? And prior to leaving, he told Narada Muni, just tell them that, when Narada says, well, if they ask what my Lord was doing, just tell them that I was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle. Who can imagine? Immediately we reject the idea as some kind of fabricated story. So when Narada came and the Brahman is asking, oh, Narada-ji, you came back, so what was my Lord doing in Vaikuntha? Oh, he had an elephant, he was putting it through the eye of a needle. Oh, Narada, you're such a jokester, you're always telling all these far-out stories, unbelievable stories. Okay, you're just joking with me now, leave it at that. And he asked, so when will I be liberated? He said, it will take some long time, many more lifetimes of dedication and service. Bahunang jamanamante gyanavan mang prapajate vasudeva sarvamiti sammahatma sadurlabha. To become truly detached from the material world, no longer interested in the material opulences of material life, what to speak of Vedic rituals and sacrifices in the performance of all the detailed religious duties, not that we give them up artificially, but actually all these Vedic literatures are meant to help us have worship of the demigods and respect for other living entities and perform our duties diligently, very carefully, avoiding any mistakes, because as we heard from the King Nriga story, it's quite amazing and bewildering that he was so liberal, so charitable, and so dutiful to follow religious performances and sacrifices, and giving unlimited wealth, cows decorated with jewelry and diamonds and pearls and studded with gold and silver on the hooves. And just by a little mistake, unknowingly, he was cursed by the Brahmanas. Well, they were just angered. They didn't curse him, but somehow when he went to the court of Yamaraj, Yamaraj asked, "So, what do you want to do?" "Oh, I'll take my reaction of my sinful activities first, and then I can enjoy all my pious activities." Even that's a material, he's still on the material platform, thinking that I'm performing all these yagyas and sacrifices and austerities and dutifully following my religious rules and regulations for the purpose of heavenly happiness, to become opulent, beautiful, powerful, and happy in this world. But the happiness is not here, the happiness is not in this world. And so although he suffered temporarily as a lizard, Krishna gave him liberation, and he was awakened. So the Brahmana, he didn't fully understand why he had to take so many births, but Narada Muni, maybe Narada's joking with him too. Then the cobbler, again, respectfully received Narada Muni, just like how we were hearing how Krishna, when Narada was curious to know, what is my Lord doing in all these thousands of palaces? There were 900,000 palaces, houses in Dwaraka, and many thousands of beautiful palaces for each and every queen. That means 16,108 individual palaces for each queen, and Krishna was personally present with each queen. And so here it is, at nighttime, he's embracing his queens and they're relishing being in the company of Krishna. And 2 or 3 hours before dawn, the Brahma Muhurta, the roosters start crowing. And then the queens are thinking, "Oh, damn roosters." Now Krishna's going to get up and perform his duties. He's going to immediately just meditate on himself and perform the yagyas and all the prescribed duties of householders. So they were really upset by this rooster business, waking Krishna up. But he's doing all the, Krishna's not attached to anything. He's Atmarama. He's, Satchidananda Vigraha. It's not like in this world we have to experience something to have some happiness. He's always blissful, always happy. And we also have that quality in minute quantity, but we're eternal, we're full of bliss and full of knowledge. So the temporary happiness that we get by winning the lottery, receiving riches, or marrying a beautiful dream of my life, my college or school sweetheart, and having a beautiful home and a big bank account, a new Mercedes-Benz, and wonderful children don't listen to a thing I say. It's just that everyone is looking and aspiring for how to become blissful and happy. And it all culminates in the sex life, thinking that by this pleasure, I'll be happy. But it's all momentary, temporary, and leads to unlimited misery. You can read throughout the history of life. But Maya is so bewildering that despite the fact we're in a pig's body eating stool or in a worm's body, it doesn't matter. Everyone is struggling for life. If you try to impede or stop the ant from its marching forward, it'll go this way and go that way and probably be cursing you. Why are you disturbing me in my march? You're looking for that sugar in the corner. I know you were eating burfi this morning. I'm going to find little burfi pieces. And everyone is looking for happiness, but that happiness is not there. So when the cobbler asked Narada Ji, "Oh, what was my Lord doing?" He was feeding an elephant through the eye of a needle. Oh, my Lord is so wonderful, so incredible. Narada was astonished how you are accepting so readily. So the cobbler sitting by some banyan tree, and he could see the fruits and the so many seeds, and within each seed has the potential of creating another banyan tree, unlimited banyan trees. Krishna is just incredible. He creates life that can create again life, just like there are male, female, every species of life. And every species, whether it's plants or fish, reptiles, pigs, dogs, lions, elephants, rhinoceroses, all the varieties, incredible varieties of life. Why are they there? Why so many varieties? Birds, pigeons, and every living being has a defense system. What are they all doing? Looking for food. The tiger, isn't it? The lion, they're on the hunt. And together, so, one living entity subsists on another living entity. Even we're eating fruits and vegetables. But patrang pushpang palang toyang yo me bhaktya prayachati. The beauty of Krishna consciousness, one representing Krishna, is showing us how to live, that everything and anything and everything that we take, we only eat prasadam, what is offered to the Lord in sacrifice. Otherwise, we're only eating sin. And we're being trained to follow rules and regulations, because by walking, we're killing so many living entities. Is it by drinking water? There's so many germs, or in making the spices, and there's always some sort of conflict in this world, and there's sins coming. And how to become free from sinful reactions? Only by surrender to Krishna. We have to surrender to Krishna. So when the cobbler was astonished at the incredible omnipotency of Krishna, and Narada Muni was so pleased that he said that, yes, you'll be liberated in this lifetime. Go back home, back to the Supreme. So it's not even the story of the Vedic or the Brahmanas, they call them the scriptural Brahmanas. They're performing yajna and sacrifice. Krishna sent all the boys who were hungry, all the cowherd boys, and just say that Krishna, or Balaram and Krishna, don't mention my name, mention Balaram's name, because they have more respect for because they're considering Krishna as a Vaishya, being the son of Nanda and Yashoda, but Balaram, he's more, they might be more inclined to give you, some sacrificial offering. But they didn't pay any attention whatsoever. They were more absorbed in their ritual and their sacrifice than actually serving and loving Krishna. But the wives, they had a natural affection. By hearing about Krishna, Rukmini, she was so attracted to Krishna by hearing about his pastimes. And Usha, when she was hearing about Aniruddha, the grandson, Aniruddha was the grandson of Krishna. So by hearing Bhagavad Gita, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we're hearing beautiful prayers by the demigods. Even just in the 10th canto alone, the Krura is praying so beautifully, the gopis are praying, feeling separation from Krishna. The other day we had a little Istagosti class with the 24-hour Kirtan team, and we were reading Muchukunda's prayers to Krishna. And Muchukunda was actually a very powerful emperor, wonderful devotee, but he just was exhausted from fighting the demons, assisting the demigods, and Kartikeya awarded him a benediction. He wanted just to rest and sleep and didn't want anyone to bother him. Because, when somebody wakes you up untimely, people can get angry. I know we had one Sankirtan house in Miami near the turnpike, where people drive. And I remember waking up someone a little bit, maybe too fast, and they became so angry. So since that time, I was conscientious not to wake someone up abruptly. Otherwise, you can get the Muchukunda look. And so Muchukunda was very upset. But Krishna was expert because this Kalayavana and also Jarasandha was coming to attack Mathura. And Krishna was performing all kinds of incredible activities. So he's running and Kalayavana's chasing after him in the cave, and he saw Muchukunda lying there, so he kicked him very forcefully, thinking Krishna is just trying to, sleep and hide on me. And Muchukunda, he burned him to ashes. But Muchukunda was praying to the Lord that I'm thinking I'm a king, I have all my warriors and all my soldiers and wealth and so much thinking I can enjoy this material world, but I'm illusion because everyone in this world is forced to grow old, get diseased and die. And very quickly, time is indefatigable. Time is, Krishna says, I am time, I'm the destroyer of the worlds. But that youthful energy bewilders us to think that we have, that's later on, long time, 50 years, 80 years. When I get old, I'll get serious about Krishna. But that doesn't happen like that. It's Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Kaumarang acharet pragyo. From the very beginning of life, one should take up the process of hearing about Krishna. So how fortunate we are under the Leela of Parikshit Maharaj getting cursed. The emperor of the world is cursed. And so all the great sages, they started gathering, thinking something's miraculous will happen now because, this is a very special personality. And Śukadeva Gosvāmī, a young boy, only clothed, was completely naked. He just came out of the womb. He spent 16 years in the womb. Vyasadeva was thinking, where are you going? Stay home. He said, nothing doing. This family life, this entanglement is what keeps us in this cycle of birth and death. But it's known that brahmachari, grihasta, vanaprastha, sannyas, that we have to go through a phase. Everyone has a desire to enjoy in this world. In order to control that, one is trained in brahmachari life. So we all begin our Krishna consciousness through study of Shastra, rising early in the morning when the alarm clock or the rooster crows. And we know that under the order of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he was very liberal, he's always liberal, never made any demands. But then when one matures and says, well, how can I serve you, my dear master? If you love someone or you see that they're giving you the most valuable gift, you want to do some service. And he's saying that, yes, we rise early in the morning. This is the time to cultivate knowledge. This Brahma Muhurta is a very effective time for spiritual development. And you must stay clean. Brahmana means clean. Keep your body clean. Keep the temple clean. And then immediately chanting and remembering the spiritual master by Sangsara Dhava, the prayers to the spiritual master, to offering Vande Guru Sri Charanāravindam, because by his mercy, he is bringing this ocean. Like if you're in a blazing fire, the fire brigade is not going to put out that blazing forest fire. They wait for the clouds, for the rain to shower down. So the spiritual master is bringing the rain from Krishna to put out the fire of a material existence. We're all burning in this cycle of birth and death. And if we miss the opportunity of the human form of life, how unfortunate and how condemned we are. So Krishna even though he's performing different activities in each and every palace, Narada Muni is just amazed. It said he went to every palace. Imagine he went to 16,108 palaces to see what is Krishna doing, what is his activities. And it seemed as though one place he's marrying off his daughter, one place he's receiving his new daughter-in-law, another place he's performing yajna and sacrifice and so many activities, but showing how a person should live. Yang yang vapi smaram bhavam tyajat yate kalevaram tang tang evaiti kaṇṭhyaḥ sadat bhava bhavata. Whatever thinks of at the time of death, one will actually achieve that goal. So if we're actually practicing Krishna consciousness and bhakti, then we'll be accustomed to remembering, hopefully at the time of, like a Jamil, he was at the verge of death. He had some good training in the early brahmachari life, serving his father, performing religious sacrifices and various duties, hearing the scripture, but that slight derailment or distraction by seeing the embracing and kissing of Shudras and performing. So you see how dangerous is the internet and how dangerous is it when we're thinking of that I want to enjoy this material world. So there's a regulation, and that regulation is after being trained in brahmachari life that many will get married, have family and children, but their duties they need to perform according to the Shastra. In Kali Yuga, this age of Kali is full of bad qualities. It's an ocean of bad qualities. And there's only one solution and only one way to get free, thinking that, I'm going to follow all the rules and regulations, perform all the yajnas and sacrifices to my forefathers, to the demigods, to Lord Ganesh, to Lord Shiva, the fire god, the sun god, everybody. I'm going to do everything very, very carefully. And many times when you go to different performances, you see all the deities are there, and we're performing all the yajnas, cover all our bases, make sure that Krishna recognizes that we've done our duties. But that's not the solution. Lord Chaitanya, when criticized by Prakashananda, the sannyasis, why you're not studying Vedanta, why you're just dancing and chanting like a fanatic. We're known as fanatical for our chanting and dancing. And Lord Chaitanya said, my spiritual master considered me a great fool, that I'm not capable of understanding the deep philosophy of Vedanta and what is Brahman and Paramatma and Bhagavan and all the philosophical analysis of the material elements and how we're encaged. And so what is the solution? Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalua nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. Only by chanting Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then the conflict resolution is taken care of. Oh, we had good conflict resolution yesterday. And all the different stumbling blocks and all the allurements of this world, they become less important. Just like great munis and yogis, when they hear the tinkling of the ankle bells or they see the activity of sense enjoyment, they may fall away from their meditation. But Haridas Thakur was fixed, and the Goswamis became totally fixed in the service of Krishna in the form of hearing and chanting. So we have the complete, as Mother Devi Shakti said, the sandwich. Early morning program, rise early, chant nicely, hear Krishna, about Krishna every day, hear Bhagavatam, Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day, don't think, I've already read that book. No, read it, read Gita again, read Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. But by staying in the family of all the books that have been compiled by Srila Prabhupada, but Krishna speaking when someone would say, Prabhupada, it's amazing how you're reading your own books. He said, they're not my books. This is Krishna. Krishna speaking, like Śukadeva Gosvāmī, totally empowered. Parikshit Maharaj. These are all eternal associates of the Lord. And they've molded the whole Srimad Bhagavatam in such a way to understand the allurements and entrapments of material life and the power and glory of Krishna. Now in the 10th canto, we're reading about the birth, childhood activities, his beautiful activities with Yashodananda Maharaj, with the gopis, but then again in separation, Akrura taking Krishna away from Vrindavan. But Krishna is sending his messenger saying, I'm there in my bhava form. If you remember me, if you're meditating on me, remembering my pastimes, I'm there, I'm with you. So Krishna, in that sense, never left Vrindavan because he's in his bhava form here in Vrindavan. So if we're hearing about Krishna, remembering Krishna, Krishna's presence is there. He's not like some mundane personality. He's in his picture. He's in his deity form. And so we're not just worshiping, uselessly or thinking, why we're wasting your time. A person thinks, I should be out making money. Why do I want to live in an ashram and perform so much of this chanting and dancing of these fanatics who are like parasites or useless people? But actually, devotees, a real devotee, he's very compassionate and very much enthusiastic to give Krishna consciousness. Rupa Goswāmī, Sanatana Goswāmī were empowered by Krishna, blessed by Krishna with this Krishna Bhakti, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That real happiness, the real goal of life is to awaken our love for Krishna, which is lying dormant within each and every one of us. There was some controversy some years ago about, the fall of the jiva. He never falls. But Prabhupada, throughout his lecture, says that we were in the spiritual world. We have a spiritual body, a relationship with Krishna. He personally interacts with each and every one of us. But somehow, difficult to understand, that we misused our independence. It's a whole, story and discussion to be had. But we should understand that in this lifetime, by surrendering to the spiritual master and to Krishna, we can awaken that eternality, that eternal life. It's not beyond our reach or beyond our grasp. Not that we feel, oh, now I'm perfect, I'm happy, I'm in Prabhupada's shelter, my Guru Maharaj has initiated me, business finished. But initiation means beginning. And that beginning means that, what is the yajna, the sacrifice for this age? Get up early, chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We may not have a taste, we may think, just monotonous, keep chanting. But as we become cleansed, as we clean the heart, by the hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, then it becomes pleasurable. Rupa Goswāmī was complaining, if I had millions of mouths and millions of ears, then I can maybe relish a little bit of the holy name. So the process is very simple, but our restless mind finds it difficult to become Trinadapi, Sunichena, Tarorapi, Sahishnana, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniya, Sadahari. We all have egos, and we get very disturbed when somebody interferes with our existence somehow or other. And to be humble and not want respect, but ready to offer respect to others, just like Krishna, he's the Supreme Lord, but Narada Muni is coming. And every palace he came into, Krishna worshipped him in the same way, as if he didn't know that, hey, you were just with me when I was with Rukmini, now you're here when I'm with Satyabhama, what's the deal here? But each and every time he would worship Narada Muni. And the description is that we should learn how to offer respects to others, the Titikshava Karunika Suhrida Sarvadena. One is very tolerant, very kind, and a friend to all living beings. And that's how Krishna is described in the Bhagavad Gita 5:29. Who knows that verse? Bhoktarang jagatapasang sarvaloka maheshwarang suhridang sarvabhutanang gyatpamang shanti brishyati bhoktarang. He's a supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. We're not the enjoyers, but by serving Krishna, Krishna is very pleased. Bhoktarang jagatapasang. All sacrifices are meant for Krishna's pleasure. Suhridang sarvadehinam. He's the friend of every living being. So devotees, we are following this process of bhakti, sadhana bhakti, under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. We have a very clear and very definite, clear path to the spiritual kingdom. So we don't need to go looking for other maps. We have a beautiful map. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the Sadhu Sangha. In the association of devotees, it becomes more relishable. Not that we just want to become hermits in our own little cave and perform some so-called sacrifices, because the mind and senses are too difficult to control. But in the association of devotees, and by hearing and chanting and rendering service to the Lord, all which is inauspicious to the heart gets cleansed. We free our dirty hearts by this very scientific process of Krishna consciousness. So we have a few minutes left. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yes, Prabhu. Questions?
Hare Krishna. In the Brahmana and cobbler pastime, the main differentiating factor was the fact that the cobbler was amazed by Krishna's qualities. But that itself is not a means to liberation, right? Like even I can say, oh, we read scripture, we see Krishna's glories, but that doesn't mean we reach Krishna prema. So how can we extrapolate the story for ourselves? Because I feel like we as devotees generally praise Krishna's qualities as part of our
Right. Yes, that's a very good question, that one can say, yes, Krishna is great, but then just continue pursuing his own ideas of sense enjoyment or not understand the true nature or glory of Krishna. It's just that spontaneously he open-heartedly accepted the message from Narada Muni in such a positive way was an indication that his heart was really there. And it wasn't that he was just agreeing for the sake of agreeing. And when Narada said, well, how is it you actually accept this so readily? And he explained in detail the complexity of Krishna's transcendental greatness of producing just a little, from a seed, a huge tree which produces unlimited seeds and fruits, and which have the seeds to produce unlimited seeds and fruits. But just an example was given by him to show that he genuinely accepted Krishna is unlimitedly powerful beyond our ability, whereas the other Brahmana was questioning, doesn't make logical reason and sense, and try to use his own brain power. And so we have to really surrender and really accept genuinely the glory of Krishna, which is described by the great Goswamis in Shastra. Other questions? Maharaj, you have something? Because I'm not here to ask myself a question, so you gotta.
I was just thinking that the lesson that we learned from this is that faith has to be there. That is the beginning of the process of development. And the cobbler has so much faith that the story of the elephant going inside the needle can only be done by the Supreme Lord. So he has so much faith, and this makes him eligible to go back home, back to Godhead.
Thank you, Maharaj. Any other question? Oh, I see. Are you a Brahmin or cobbler? No, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. We know that there are sufferings in the world, and there are even sufferings in devotional path. Even knowing or experiencing it every day, still we are in devotional path. So why are we in devotional path, even knowing that there are sufferings, and we are also experiencing sufferings in this world?
Yes. Well, the queens were experiencing suffering from those darn roosters. So they were experiencing disturbance and agony, but still they were completely in love with Krishna, and they were personally taking care of Krishna despite any inconveniences. It said there are thousands of maidservants equally as beautiful and competent to serve Krishna. When Krishna would come to the palace, the queen, Rukmini, and others would personally greet Krishna and take care of him, and all the things, feed him, bathe him, whatever, and being embraced by him. But then the roosters are causing trouble for them. So there's always trouble to be had, but devotees know that whatever trouble is there, it's an impetus for me to take shelter of Krishna, because there's no other shelter. That you may think, well, what's the use of serving or taking shelter of Krishna when there's going to be suffering? We have to know that this material world is a place of suffering from top to bottom in every species of life. If you want to get out of the suffering, whether you think, well, I'm a devotee, why am I suffering? Well, first of all, to be a devotee is a very high caliber. We're all, how you say, in practice. We're practicing our devotional principles. So the challenges will be to wake us up to practice more sincerely and more enthusiastically in our own devotional practices.
Thank you,
So,
Prabhuji.
one more question, if anyone has any more?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, some people have faith, some people have no faith. Some people have half faith. Some people have 20% faith, like that. So it looks like it's like a gift. Some people are gifted, some people are less gifted, some people are not at all gifted. So we can also acknowledge in ourselves that some people have more faith than myself, some people have less faith than myself. So we try to help those who have no faith, but by giving a book, or I don't know.
I remember one story that Shruta-kirti told, that the devotees were dancing and jumping 10 feet in the air and so ecstatic to see Prabhupada and be in the Guru Puja and the Kirtan. And Shruta said to Srila Prabhupada, oh, these devotees have so much love and faith in you, Prabhupada. They're so, I feel like I'm less qualified than they are. So Prabhupada, he didn't say anything immediately, but in the evening he says, you like your service? You know, he's rendering service to, yes, Prabhupada, very much. He said, this is faith. That we may feel inadequate in our faith and sometimes question our own, maybe I don't believe everything, but I'll accept it. So to the caliber that you're here and you're practicing, that faith will increase more and more by proper association. And by having the association of devotees and trying for whatever faith you have to follow the rules and regulations of sadhana bhakti, that'll help gain you more faith and more strength and determination, sadhu sangha, bhajanakriya, anartha nivritti, ruchi, bhava. Everything comes in its own way. It starts with faith, but your faith will solidify and get stronger if you stay on board the boat going back home, back to Godhead. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hari Bol.